that if you are at peace and when you are happy, so then only you will be able to give your 100% to a thing. If you are thinking that, whatever you are doing is a burden, then you will not be able to perform. It is as simple as that. When you love what you do, you will be happy. Sometimes, children who are overconfident, their confidence is busted and then they get into the line of things.
Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of our talk shows, which have been making a mark, and we have been interacting with so many esteemed guests. This time again, हम एक और शख्सियत को अपने साथ लेकर आए हैं, and she is the principal of Rockwood International School, Dr. Vasudha Neel. Welcome to the studios and to the talk show with me, Dr. Vasudha. मैम वी आर ग्रेटफुल एंड मैं देख रही थी इतना सारा काम आपने किया हुआ है 30 years, more than 30 years का आपको एक्सपीरियंस है एंड यू हैव बीन अ लाइफ कोच, यू हैव बीन अ करियर कोच, यू हैव वर्कड इन स्पेशल एजुकेशन और भी बहुत कुछ. सो मैं जानना चाहूंगी आपके मुंह से ही आपके बारे में कि आप किन किन डोमेन्स में आपने क्या काम किया है और क्या आपका लाइफ की जो जर्नी रही है अब तक की. Please tell us about that.
Sure, sure. So thank you, Ms. Poonam, for this opportunity. It's been 30 years in education, and since I belonged to the family of educationists on both sides, from my parents' sides and in-laws' side, so it was always that I wanted to be in the education fraternity only. Matlab, from my childhood, I always wanted to be a teacher, and both maternal aunts, they were special educators, and they were special educators with hearing impaired children. So I used to go with them to their of schools, special schools, and that used to intrigue me a lot. And I wanted to continue that journey. So when the time came, so and my parents asked what, so I told them I will not work with children with hearing impaired, but I want to take it a little more challenging. I would like to work with children with special needs in the field of the slow learners, LD, or moderately challenged students. So yet that's how the journey started. So I worked in a special school for some time as a volunteer. Then I worked around for 10 years in the field of special education completely. And my specialization was in autism, learning disability, and Asperger's syndrome, so slow learners. So when I joined, I got an opportunity to work in a mainstream school. So for 1 year, I had initiated a learning center in a full-fledged CBSE running school. And exactly 20 years ago, in 2004, I got an opportunity to work with Pathways World School, and that time the school was just started. And because I feel that I was a special educator, it was very easy for me to adapt to an international curriculum. So that's how the 20 years with Cambridge. And for me, moment is a moment that we can learn. And I always wish to add to my kitty of knowledge as a lifelong learner. Though there were a lot of challenges in the beginning, I would say, because as I told you, I belong to the family of academicians. But unfortunately, only child, and my parents were aged, so I had the challenge to start earning early. So that's what when I became the special educator, I was not even graduate. So I completed my graduation with the distance learning in psychology, and worked very hard to do that. And at 21 years of the age, I got married. But fortunately, again, I got married again into a family of academicians. So everybody was into education. So I completed my 2 masters, my PhD, everything after marriage only, and a lot of courses. So that's how I love to update myself, what's happening. And journey of being a career coach started when I was a principal of the schools. So there were many players in the market who used to come and talk about, we have this product, we will work with the students. And I felt unless and until I knew about it, that how things are in the field of career guidance and counseling, career coaching, I will not be able to guide my students well. So that's how I started. I became a completed my two courses. One was the ICC triple coach as a career coach, and then followed by it was a master's program, also CCSP master program with NCDA USA. I finished that. In addition to this, because since I was, I think my being a special educator gave that credit to me because I was able to teach in different manner, or in the manner where my students could understand. So that was the philosophy or pedagogical innovation of Cambridge also. So when this happened, when I was doing these things, so it helped me a lot. And when I became the principal around 14, 15 years ago, so that made our school a model school for Cambridge also at that time. And we helped many schools to implement Cambridge curriculum. And now over the years, I have been a Cambridge trainer, I have been a Cambridge program leader. And in a bit, 2 months before, they have given me the position of a Cambridge ambassador, as a Cambridge ambassador of South Asia. So I help, not only help schools to have implement Cambridge curriculum, but also take the trainings on the pedagogy, on the resources. So all these things, keep on adding. And I have been a very strong proponent of positivity. So I completed again, I did a course from UPenn from positive psychology. And during the pandemic, I authored a book called Gratitude, the Purpose of Life. Because usually what happens is that we talk about the challenges, what life throws at us, but how we can opportunities of those challenges that we don't talk about. And this current generation, they are all about, they are stressed, they are depressed, they have a lot of interpersonal issues with the friends. Their parents don't have time for these things happen. So they need something to fall back upon. And I feel that. So and I was practicing whatever challenges I had. Like in 2010, I lost my father, 2013, I lost my mother. So after that, I was in a little state of uh, lower down the cliff, or, little depression. And then I started reading Rhonda Bryan. I started doing a lot of things. And then I thought that whatever they are talking about, I did my own research on the gratitude, on positivity and things like that. So I thought there was nothing for the children. So then I designed some one curriculum, 21 days exercise curriculum, because it is said that Atomic Habits also says that, it takes 21 days to form a habit. So I wrote this book called Gratitude, the Purpose of Life during the pandemic time, during the COVID time. And the title of the book was also given by my daughter. At that time, she was 11 years old, 12 years old, and we were discussing about it, and she said, no, I think this title would be good because you talk about so much. And I used to conduct a lot of workshops, and I had designed that curriculum in that manner, or those exercises that manner, that it caters to a 5-6 year old to a 50-year-old, because we had divided it in such a manner. And after that, came across with somebody of being a, because everybody started telling me that, when we come to you, we get solutions, or we are at peace in my workplace, in my friend circle. And then at that time, I did not know. But again, in 2021, I came with the concept of life coach, life and leadership coach. So I did my ICF training. I did a complete PCC level coach for being a life and leadership coach, and I used to volunteer there to take some lecturer as a lecturer, also as a faculty also I joined them. So right now, if you talk about it, so I love what I do, and I work for no, more than 17, 18 hours a day, and I'm pretty okay with, because I balance it out. I have my schools, I do the training programs, I'm authoring 2 other books. I'm working on that. So all these things keep me busy.
What a journey, ma'am.
Yeah.
Commendable. Totally impressed. Totally impressed. You know, uh, adding gratitude and I'm sure touching spirituality as well. Because when we talk about gratitude, obviously we are moving very, very closer to
Yes.
spirituality, the spiritual aspect of it as
Yes.
well. But before we delve into the deeper topics, I would like to, because you are a special educator also, and you worked with special children, and I would say you worked with so-called normal children. I'm saying so-called special बच्चों के साथ, और जिन बच्चों को हम नॉर्मल कहते हैं, उन बच्चों में क्या बेसिक डिफरेंसेस रहते हैं?
See, I deal children as children. I
राइट.
have never differentiated them between, a child with a special needs or a child with no needs at all. I feel all children are special, and all that have their innate abilities, and they need to be nurtured. So maybe a child with so-called that special needs, if we label them, they need to be nurtured little more. That's it. Because children are children. They need the love, they need the affection, and academics is always not everything. So there are certain things that where children with special needs, they have certain edge over things, wherein they will be more affectionate, they will be more concerned about you. They will be more grounded. But at the same point in time, if we are dealing with our other children also in that manner, with that affection, with that understanding, because children need to be understood at this point in time.
Yes.
This generation is the alpha generation or the Gen Z. They have very high metacognitive skills, so they also, so I feel that, a little bit of affection and little bit of love can turn everyone around. So for me, children are children. I don't differentiate between my children in terms of this thing. And if I talk about, if I take it a little further, so all the forms of living beings, whether they are pets, whether they are other animals, whether they are birds, whether they are plants, they need to be nurtured with love and affection. They all need that. So these days, if I have 2 pets at home. Those were kept by my daughter, but now, they are with me for some time. They also need that attention. They will also need that love. They will also need that. So, and in Upanishads, they have differentiated it beautifully between a Vakajiv and Nirvakajiv. So the Nirvakajiv, the living beings who cannot speak, who cannot express themselves, they need that added love, affection, and care. So yes, that's there.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही कहा मैम आपने. एंड दिस आई बिलीव इज आल्सो योर मैसेज टू पेरेंट्स कि हर बच्चे को प्यार और केयर की जरूरत होती है. रादर हर लिविंग बीइंग को, और या नॉन लिविंग बीइंग को भी, जैसे कि प्यार और केयर की जरूरत होती है. एब्सोल्युटली. मैम एक सवाल, आपका मैसेज टू, क्योंकि आपने स्पेशल बच्चों के साथ काम किया, अभी मैं उसी डोमेन में आपका ओपिनियन लेना चाहती हूँ. ऑटिस्टिक बच्चे हैं, स्लो लर्नर्स हैं, आपने हर प्रकार के, आपने 3 डोमेन्स बताए, 4 डोमेन्स बताई जो आपने स्पेशल एजुकेशन नीड्स के बच्चों के साथ काम किया. उनके पेरेंट्स को कई बार वो बहुत डिप्रेशन में और बहुत स्ट्रेस्ड आउट होते हैं अपने बच्चों के फ्यूचर को लेके. सो उन पेरेंट्स को आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे, या क्या उन्हें कहना चाहेंगे थ्रू दिस पॉडकास्ट?
See, it is, I understand the plight of the parents. It is easier
Hmm.
said than done.
Hmm.
But if you, I believe that if you're chosen with the task of nurturing a child with special needs, so that means you have a lot of patience and you are the chosen one. That's one. When we come to the logistics and practical aspects for the thing, start the intervention very young. If you have come to know that the child has an issue or the child is lacking somewhere, start the intervention. Don't be in the denial phase. I have seen so many parents that they are completely into the denial phase and then they lose out on the important years where you can work with the child. So if suppose you have come to know that your child has special needs and he's just 18 months, he's just 2 years, whatever the need may be, start doing the early intervention right away. Whether he needs a speech therapy, whether he needs a special educator, whether he needs a sensory integration therapy, occupational therapy, start it young. So the way you start it, the sooner you start it, you will get the results faster. Of course, the students, it is a myth कि अगर ये बोला जाए कि भाई स्पेशल नीड्स के बच्चे ठीक हो जाते हैं, नो, बट विद देयर बेस्ट potential, you can teach them to maximize their optimum potential. So that's very important.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं मैम। एक सवाल और, क्योंकि अब आप दोनों ही डोमेन में काम कर चुके हैं एंड यू
Mhm.
आर हेडिंग अ स्कूल, सो कैसे पहचाना जाए कि ये बच्चा जो है, अक्सर समझ नहीं आता कि बच्चे में स्पेशली एडीएचडी अगर है, गुस्सा ज्यादा आ रहा है, आजकल बच्चों को गुस्सा ज्यादा आता ही है एक तो पेरेंट्स कैसे पहचाने कि उनके बच्चे में कोई स्पेशल नीड्स है, या टीचर्स, या और फिर कहाँ जाएं उसको डायग्नोसिस के लिए, हु इज द राइट पर्सन दे शुड अप्रोच?
See, to be very honest, there are different categories of being special needs. So if the hearing impairment, speech impairment, Down syndrome hai, microcephalus hai, if they're different categories. So of course you will come to know by birth. But when
राइट।
it comes to the cognitive disorders per se,
यस।
when
या।
we talk about that, so whether it is ADD, whether it is ADHD, autism hai or Asperger's hai, there
जी।
it is, you will have the red flags very soon. Now,
राइट।
the red flags for autism and Asperger's kid would be that, he might not give you eye contact. He might have a delayed milestones. He might not be speaking. There will be a lot of communication gaps. He might be repeating what you are speaking. So it means there is something, amiss, and you have to show it to your pediatrician. Child is going to the school per se. He started going to the school. So there is one child who is, fidgety all around. वो तो एक मिनट भी नहीं बैठ रहा है क्लास में, घूम रहा है, he's hitting children, he's biting others, spitting on others. Yeah, I'm talking about little bit on junior ones, and not paying attention to what is being taught. So it means you have a flag of, maybe, the teachers can make a note of it, and distinctively दिख जाते हैं वो बच्चे अलग से हमें. When it comes to your academics, so एकदम आप ये बोलें कि ग्रेड 2 तक तो बच्चा बहुत अच्छा कर रहा था, बट ग्रेड 2 आने के बाद the child is regressing. So, or there are reversals, uh, 9 as 6, B as D. So, but the red flag is, what are the learning gaps? If the learning gap is of 6 months to a year, it's absolutely fine. But if you find out that learning gaps is of 2 years, 3 years, of course, you need to have. So every school sometimes, learning center, or they have counselors. So to begin with, if the child is going to the school, they will be um, referring to the parents. They will be calling to the parents, and parents need to consult a psychiatrist, pediatric. When it comes to cognitive, parents के लिए मेरा यही message है that, don't hold your child if he's not doing well. क्योंकि there is a very thin line between a slow learner and a learning difficulty child, wherein
Hmm.
हम लोग को लगता है कि he's not paying attention, he's not
Hmm.
studying, he's
Hmm.
so when we were children, there were no such thing as this thing. The children who were weak in studies, वो
Hmm.
teachers को लगता था कि पढ़ता नहीं है, बहुत weak
Hmm.
है,
Hmm.
issues हैं. Because there was no diagnosis, there was no prognosis for that. But now
Hmm.
times have changed, and there is a lot of scope of prognosis, diagnosis. Parents, you must show to the right person at the right time. And don't, I understand completely. I'm a mother myself. Sometimes, what we are not able to do, we try to do that, we try to find that happiness in our children. So
Hmm.
don't live your dreams through them. Maybe their dream are bigger than ours. हम लोग कुछ सोचते हैं, maybe children have, thought of something
Yeah.
bigger than that. So give that, whether children with special needs, whether children with no special needs. So give that freedom of thought and freedom of thinking of expression to your children.
अरे वाह, ये तो बहुत खूबसूरत आपने कहा कि उनका उनको उनके आसमां तक पहुंचने दो। आपका आसमां छोटा भी हो सकता है।
Exactly, exactly.
जी। जी। सो बिल्कुल। मैम, स्पेशल नीड्स पर रहते हैं, क्या ये बच्चे, क्योंकि स्पेशल नीड्स हैं, और हमारा जो स्कूल करिकुलम है, आपने सीबीएसई के साथ भी काम किया और आप केम्ब्रिज, आप इंटरनेशनल करिकुलम के साथ भी काम कर रहे हैं। तो
Mhm.
किस तरह के बच्चे जो हैं स्पेशल नीड्स के, वो एक रेगुलर स्कूल में चल सकते हैं, और कब पेरेंट्स को एक उनको स्पेशल स्कूल का अरेंज करना चाहिए, शिफ्ट
There
करना
is no concept of a special school right now, according
चाहिए।
to our education policy.
जी।
So what happens is there are all integrated setups. The
ओके।
students who are educable or who are trainable, who have seen the school, so they have a special educators within the classroom setting. वो वो IEPs होते हैं, उनके individual education plans होते हैं. And according to their IEPs, they work with the students on one-on-one. So there might be certain students, उनको हो सकता है कि वो जो whatever they are being taught in the school, वो curriculum उनको समझ में आ रहा हो, और उसमें they are mildly LD and they can do with the things. तो उनका अगर हमने थर्ड लैंग्वेज हटा दिया, उनको स्पेशल एजुकेशन के वन ऑन वन सेशंस कर दिए, शैडो टीचिंग कर दी क्लास में, इन क्लास सपोर्ट दे दिया, वो हो गया. बट देयर आर सर्टेन सेट जो हैं, जो बिल्कुल दे हैव mental impairments and they are not able to understand or gauge, their IQ is low. So for them, what happens is that they join the co-curricular activities classes with the classroom they are sitting in it, but the academics is always taken care by the special educator within the classroom. So it is on the category of the severity of disorder, wherein, maybe children, there would be some slow learners, there will be something, then they are able to clear few subjects of open school. They follow it a pattern, but there are certain students who cannot. So they might be just doing the uh, for little interaction, for little thing, they go to the main school or their inclusive setup. And for the academics and other things, they have their IEPs and they work very closely with their own assigned special educators. And then there are a couple of completely fully, full-fledged special schools where they work only on the students' skills from a very young age, to the point that their self-help skills, making them independent. Because there are certain students, who are doesn't know how to brush a teeth also. So as a special educator, at times you have to teach them to brush the teeth. Their eye
ओके।
hand coordination, tying of laces, their other. So there are a lot of things that happens, and then what the parents have the biggest question: what after they have turned 18? Because chronologically they have turned 18, but their mental age would be 10 years. Their mental age might be 12 years, 15 years, less than that. So there are most of the schools, special schools also, they have started with their vocational centers. So they do a lot of things. During that, they might be working on the looms, they might be, making some candles, they might be making envelopes, they might be, so they might be doing different things, all together completely. Yeah.
इंटरेस्टिंग. वाओ. मैम, आपका इतना एक्सपीरियंस वास्ट है कि मुझे लग रहा है मैं कहाँ से सवाल पूछूं. स्पेशल एजुकेशन की डोमेन हमने टच की है. डेफिनेटली मुझे लगता है हमें दोबारा भी इंटरेक्शन आपसे रखनी पड़ेगी, रखनी चाहिए, कि आपका जो एक्सपीरियंस है और एक्सपोजर है. मैम, करियर की डोमेन में आपने काम किया, बहुत आपने खुद सर्टिफिकेशंस लिए. सो करियर गाइडेंस का जो रोल है या जो इम्पोर्टेंस है, मतलब क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है, क्या लगता है आपको कि क्या बच्चों को या पेरेंट्स को अपने बच्चों का करियर गाइडेंस ऑप्ट करना चाहिए, एंड व्हाट आर इट्स बेनिफिट्स और
So,
लिमिटेशंस?
and on other days where, it was decided that there are only three streams, science, commerce, and humanities. So, बहुत intelligent बच्चे हैं वो science लेंगे, और जो थोड़े ठीक ठाक एवरेज हैं वो कॉमर्स लेंगे, एंड बिलो एवरेज ह्यूमैनिटीज लेंगे. Now, according to the latest research, the students who are going out to study abroad, so and especially the Indian students, the percentage has risen to from 4% to 54%. The students choosing liberal arts as a professional. Now, we have to catch the students young, because these students have a very high metacognitive skills. So in our school, I start the career coaching, career guidance from at the end of grade 8 onwards, because you are working with the students to make them in their work with them in that direction where they want to be. And then we have a very strong parent partnership program at Rockwood. So where what we do is, from till primary, we started from grade 3, 4, 5. So the parents come. Maybe a parent is suppose, for example, they want to understand about the aviation industry. So maybe a pilot comes. So for till grade 5, he discusses different things about this thing, aviation industry, that pilot hai, air hostess hai, ye hota hai, ye hota hai. And then from 6 onwards, grade 6 onwards, jab classes senior ho jati hain, they talk about how you can get into that profession. What do you need for that profession? And then, to make it more formal, we have a psychometric assessments for our students, where we test their aptitude, interest, emotional intelligence, then orientation and intelligence. So then we found out that, okay, this child is, moving towards a flair or a stream of sciences, or, he wants to move toward the liberal arts, or he wants to do something related to commerce background. And sometimes what happens is that there is still a certain mindset of the parents, especially in cities like Udaipur. They will say, no, 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 I want my child to be either a doctor or an engineer. Then you have to sit with them and counsel them and talk to them. And then again, they sometimes they understand, sometimes they don't. And so we give that freedom of subject choices, and any which ways, because we are in Cambridge, so our subject selection starts from grade 9 onwards. So in IGCSE, they have the subject choices from grade 9 onwards, and they follow their passion, whatever they want to do. We
Yes,
give
yes.
them all the opportunities, it's on them, how do they do it. But the right age is now 11, 12 years to start with them.
एब्सोल्युटली. मैम, क्योंकि आप एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं एंड आपने ग्रैटिट्यूड पर बुक लिखी है, कैसे अपने आप को इमोशनली स्ट्रांग रखें, स्ट्रेस से दूर रहें, और ग्रैटिट्यूड के बारे में भी आप क्या कहना चाहती हैं? प्लीज, वी वुड लाइक टू हियर इट फ्रॉम यू.
See, stress podcast कह लीजिए, या एक interaction था सदगुरु का. I think in 2013 I heard that, 13 or 14 में था. Stress is part of the life, and then we talk about stress management. We have accepted that anger is the part of life, and then we do anger management. So if we nip it in the bud completely, why do we have to take, stress? Why do we? But it is again बहुत आसान होता है बोलना, but उसको when you need to implement it, it is tough. And I see little children, there is a lot of peer pressure. So peer pressure can be related to, from a very minor thing that, I am going to traveling to India for my summer vacations, but my friend is traveling to abroad for a summer vacation. For a child, that's also a trigger for being stressed.
Right.
My friends are not talking to me, but my friends are talking to other friends. That also is a trigger of stress. My parents compare me with my sibling, that I wanted to he is so intelligent, but I love painting. So my father says, you can't make a career in painting, you better focus on the studies. That's also a trigger for stress. So the children, and I strongly feel that the any human form which has taken birth in this on this planet Earth, he has come with his journey, whether it is an educational journey or whether it is a vocational journey. It is decided. And you get there is a free will, but you get the opportunity. They will take care of themselves. They will be for following a career. They will be working. And now I say for women also that they will be working. They will be doing things. So I think children also need to take a step back and relax, because now there are different types of children. One are they are very happy go lucky, जरूरत से ज्यादा happy go lucky होते हैं कि academics को जो हमें at our age when we have to optimize our maximum potential, and how we need to prioritize and balance it out when it is between academics, sports, co-curricular activities, internships. We have to do that. वो तो हमें करना ही है, but not at the cost of emotional well-being. Because all the researchers have suggested that if you are at peace and when you are happy, so then only you will be able to give your 100% to a thing. If you are thinking that, whatever you're doing is a burden, then you will not be able to perform. It is as simple as that. When you love what you do, you will be happy. When you don't care what others are talking about you, thinking about you, you will be happy. When you stop comparing yourself with others, you are your own competition, then you will be happy. And the parents feel that if we are paying fees for the child, तो उसके तो 100 on 100 आने चाहिए, उसके तो A stars आने चाहिए. So we have to understand कि सबके 100 on 100 नहीं आ सकते हैं, और कोई first नहीं हो सकता है. So accept your children as they are. Work on their strengths, harness their strengths, work on their weaknesses where we feel that, okay, they will be able to come up for this. And when you are grateful, you attract abundance. आप रोते रहिए कि मेरे पास ये नहीं है, मेरे पास वो नहीं है, आपके पास कभी नहीं आएगा. But it attracts when you are dealing with the situations in a positive manner. So there are two ways to it. I'll give you one example. Sometimes the day started on a wrong foot. I got a plate. पानी नहीं आया, ऑफिस के लिए लेट हो गए, टायर पंचर हो गया, बॉस ने डांट दिया. सो वी फील, बट क्योंकि वी आर मैनिफेस्टिंग दोस थॉट्स, अरे आज तो बहुत लेट हो गए, आज तो आज तो कुछ ना कुछ और होगा. But okay, we have got a plate. Take a deep breath. I always tell children, I always tell parents, once you get up in the morning, take a deep breath, see your palm, have a smile on your face, take 2-3 deep breaths and then start your day. So जब आप हफड़ा तफड़ी में हम उठेंगे, हम चीजें बहुत randomly करेंगे, so we will not have a solution. So there are prepare yourself, not if not plan, but prepare yourself in advance. How do you want to do things? And then, of course, there are certain, this I very strongly feel, and I also have done it. There are certain relationships in our life, we take it for granted. So whether there are parents, siblings,
Hmm.
spouses, जैसे एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सरसाइज मेरी चेयरपर्सन है मिसेस अलका शर्मा, वो पेरेंट्स के साथ करवाती हैं. When they
Mhm.
ask the spouses, husband and wife, to say thank you to each other because you have taken care of the family, they are
Mhm.
so hesitant.
Mhm.
ये फील कि किस बात का थैंक यू, ये तो
Mhm.
उसको करना ही है, ये तो उसकी
Mhm.
ड्यूटी है. किस बात
Mhm.
का थैंक यू भाई, हस्बैंड ने कमा के लाना है तो कमा के लाना ही है,
Mhm.
वाइफ ने किचन में काम करना है तो करना है, तो किस बात का थैंक यू. देन
Mhm.
शी एक्सप्लेन्स इट टू देम. व्हेन दे सी that you are paying gratitude to each other for these things also, your children
Mhm.
are going to learn the same things.
Mhm.
When we talk about grandparents,
Mhm.
ग्रैंड एक बहुत बड़ी छत्र छाया होते हैं, बट न्यूक्लियर
Mhm.
फैमिली में उन लोग को लगता है ओहो, हम ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स साथ में रह रहे हैं तो मतलब हमारा तो
Mhm.
फ्रीडम, अब फ्रीडम इज,
Mhm.
बट दे डोंट
Mhm.
अंडरस्टैंड दैट a kind of at peace we are, that we don't have to open a locked house if the
Mhm.
grandparents are there.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course, they have their own set of thinking, which we also have to get attuned to. But they are teaching our children such valuable life lessons. So
Yes.
these are small, small things. We never think we बच्चे को पढ़ाना है, स्कूल में डालना है, तो भाई वो तो है ही पेरेंट्स की ड्यूटी, वो नहीं करेंगे तो और
Mhm.
कौन करेगा. But
Mhm.
how much sacrifices the parents are making to give you that
Mhm.
education, that counts.
Right.
When we never think of what example I always tell adults, the sometimes when we take a deep breath and we are not able to take that breath out, we will be dead. But we seldomly think of paying gratitude to the mother earth or to
Yes.
air.
Yes.
We get up in the morning, हम सीधा अपना टैप
Mhm.
खोलते हैं, पानी आता है, और
Mhm.
सोचिए जिस दिन पानी नहीं आता, वी आर
Mhm.
कंप्लीटली हैसल्ड. कभी दिमाग में आता ही नहीं है कि उसके लिए भी हम ग्रैटिट्यूड दे दें कि भाई
Mhm.
जो सिंपल पानी है, एक एक पानी जैसी चीज अगर बंद हो जाएगी हमारी लाइफ में तो हमारा क्या होगा. So
Mhm.
all these things, when you teach your children from the micro level to macro
Mhm.
level, it will give them the value that we cannot take anything for granted. Now, see, I have been in my school for 7, 8 years now,
Mhm.
or and I have seen a lot of friends also. So
Mhm.
when you develop that bond in the workplace, when you
Mhm.
develop that bond between okay, if the child is studying in a school,
Mhm.
और उस चाइल्ड का बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, अगर आपने बोल दिया अरे बेस्ट फ्रेंड को भी फॉर ग्रांटेड ले लिया, ये कहाँ जाएगा. No,
Mhm.
you we have to teach them to be grateful from a very young age. It is
Mhm.
not about just being grateful. So those are, we do, I have 21-day exercises.
Mhm.
Every day is designed for a good health, for
Mhm.
studies, for prosperity, for air, for water, for food we eat in. Now, COVID के time पे हम बहुत exercises करते थे, and I used to ask my children, grade 2, grade 1,
Mhm.
grade 2, खाना कहाँ से आता है, फूड कहाँ से आता है. तो या तो मम्मा की
Mhm.
किचन से आता था या वो ग्रोसरी स्टोर से आता था. दे हैड नो
Mhm.
कॉन्सेप्ट, नो आइडिया दैट ओके देयर आर फार्मर्स, they
Mhm.
they work very hard, and then the food is
Mhm.
processed, then it is come to us. So
Mhm.
from mother to mother earth, the journey
Mhm.
is this: from your own mother to the mother earth. How you are
Right.
able to pay gratitude. And trust me, when children value what they are getting, they are sorted
Mhm.
for life. They will never face it. Everybody will have to face the challenging situations.
Mhm.
I personally believe the day your challenging situations are over, you are over. Your journey is over on the planet. Every day there is a new challenge, and you have to fulfill that challenge journey. Sometimes it is the ride is smooth, sometimes it is rough, but we have to mentally prepare ourselves for that. The other thing, which you have not asked, but I think we must prepare our children for the failures. हम लोग को
Right.
लगता है कि सब कुछ hunky dory है and everything is available at the platter. Children must face failures, must, because
Absolutely.
then how they overcome those failures, how they overcome those obstacles, that's very important.
बिल्कुल, वो मेरे सवालों की किटी में है मैम, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द जी
हाँ,
जी, इसके बारे में प्लीज और बताइए, फेलियर के बारे में, क्योंकि आप डे इन एंड डे आउट देख रहे हैं, बच्चों के साथ हैं, और क्लास में जो बच्चा सेकंड आ जाता है वो भी सोचता है, जो हमेशा से फर्स्ट आ रहा है वो सेकंड आने को भी फेलियर समझ सकता है, रादर देन सेलिब्रेटिंग कि मैं सेकंड आया,
see,
बिकॉज उसको फर्स्ट आने की आदत है.
no. So the success and failures are the state of mind. I
राइट.
always say that we should be our own competition. That's it.
हम्म.
And when we are doing some work, when we are putting in some efforts, तो गलती होगा. You will, so the human errors will be there.
जी.
But those errors should not be a consequence of the lackadaisical approach or the carelessness, and the mistakes should not be repeated. The other aspect is when you are giving 100% to what you are doing, you will seldomly fail. But if you have failed, because see, understand, lakhs and lakhs of students applying for 7,000 seats of IIT JEEE,
Yes. Yes.
right? So there will only be those 7,000 who will be selected. Rest of them, they are not selected. So
Right.
they have to have their plan B ready.
Right. बिल्कुल.
So it is, so we have to teach them to how
हम्म.
to overcome this thing. So I will share an example. One of my very, very old students,
हम्म.
I'm talking about 15 years ago, 2010, I think.
हम्म.
And he was an India topper, Cambridge,
हम्म.
and a very, very bright student, India
हम्म.
topper, world topper. And उसको था मेरा admission तो कहीं भी हो जाएगा. And he had never seen failure in his life.
हम्म.
And we were at top 9 कि मैं तो बहुत intelligent हूँ, admission तो. He applied only to Oxford and Cambridge. उसको, he was very sure with my results, and he didn't get that year. उसका डेडलाइन निकल गया था, but that taught him that no, he has to, next year he applied in different universities, and then he was throughout the, he got his favorite university, then he was a topper throughout, he got the Duke of Edinburgh award also. So the point is this, that how sometimes children who are overconfident, their confidence is busted and then they get into the line of things.
Right.
So that's very
Absolutely.
important.
Yes, yes, yes. Very, very important. मैम, जाते जाते थैंक यू सो मच. ग्रैटिट्यूड हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए, हमारे लिसनर्स के लिए, कि किस तरह डेली अपने लाइफ में ग्रैटिट्यूड को इनकलकेट करें. आपसे बेहतर कौन
I
बताए.
I would just say that be grateful that you have woken up today, you're alive, and be grateful for the small little things that you are getting. Be grateful in your relationships. Be grateful for the materialistic pleasures you are having. There is nothing wrong in having materialistic things, but trust me that gratitudes attracts abundance. So be helpful. And when you are paying gratitude, you should be saying it from the heart, and you should be having the reason of why you are thanking a person. So that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Really, thank you for
Thank you.
taking out time. It has been really, really awesome speaking with you. और बातें बहुत सारी करने का, बहुत कुछ सीखने का मन कर रहा है आपसे, बट मे बी नेक्स्ट टाइम जब आपके पास फुर्सत हो, समय हो.
Thank you.
थैंक यू. थैंक यू सो मच, डॉक्टर मानी. थैंक यू.